welcome to Left in the South, episode 17, right?
Yes,
Is that right this time?
Yeah.
Good. All right. How you doing, man? What's up, Dougley?
Yeah, well, you know, it's been a rough week.
Caleb, even?
This week.
Yeah, it's been pretty sad.
Yeah, well, I'm trying not to let it get me down, because, things don't look great, but this is kind of how it always is for us,
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle.
Yeah, like, I kind of expected the results this week, because I'm like, dude, there's so many southern states. If you don't know what we're talking about Super Tuesday. That happened March 3rd.
Yep, we're 2 days off Super Tuesday, and basically, yeah, if you're keeping up with it, we're going to spend a while talking about it this episode, so let's get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way, and we'll launch into that discussion. I'm sure you guys are excited, dying even to hear our opinions about that.
Fuck, dude. Honestly, I've been boiling, but, let's get this shit out of the way. First, I want to talk about our YouTube channel. If you're not subbed to our YouTube channel, then what are you waiting for? It's free, by the way. I don't know if you heard of this thing called YouTube.
No, I've never heard of that, David. What is that?
Our giveaway on Twitter, of course, ending in 10 days from now. 10 days. We record this on March 4th. It's going to be ending on March 14th.
So get in that shit. What are you doing with yourself? Why?
Yeah, we're giving away 4 $10 Amazon gift cards. Like, I know $10 might not be a lot to you rich folk, but $10, like, dude, you can buy, like, anything for $10 on Amazon.
Yes, we are redistributing our wealth. We're better fucking socialists than any of the people listening to this podcast.
And we're giving away exclusive giveaway for our people on Patreon.
Exactly. So if you're part
of our
And you
can double dip so you can win twice.
You can win $20 and,
Amazon money.
No cost. That's the same thing. Amazon dollars, US dollars, they're interchangeable. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Right, man.
Personally, I think
Jeff Bezos should just make his own currency.
Yeah, I was gonna say he should make Bezos bucks and just redo the economy.
Yes, dude. And everyone works at Amazon. They get paid, $8 Bezos bucks an hour, and the Bezos buck obviously will be greater than $1.
That's a no-brainer. It's like Bitcoin.
Yeah. We also have some fresh YouTube content coming up, so look out for that. We should be playing a game pretty soon, and that should, that content should be up probably the same day this gets uploaded, hopefully, whenever this gets uploaded. Yeah, that's that shit out of the way. So, man, fuck. The thing I wanted to talk about before we get into Super Tuesday, though, is, I was thinking maybe we can just talk about the coronavirus, on a weekly basis and, see what's been new. I think you told me something pretty scary, saying, something like half the people on the planet is going to get coronavirus.
I've heard that, or I think I read that on Twitter or something, so I'm not going to verify that it's true. But, yeah, I've heard that basically some scientist guy,
it's not surprising.
No, it's really not that crazy when you think about it. But, it is kind of scary to think that, over half the people will have it. And another piece of news about coronavirus, it actually is in the state that is right next to me right now, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think we've had some Florida cases.
Yeah, and there's 30 or 40 in California. It's definitely here. So
Washington.
Yeah, I think the worst part about the coronavirus in the U.S. is just our draconian fucking healthcare system. So so many people are gonna get infected and not
if you're homeless
go to the doctor.
or old, you're fucked.
Yeah, especially then. And even just regular ass people, just working people, they're gonna get it and not be able to go to the doctor because it's too expensive or they can't afford it or whatever. And that whole time that they're just sick and not addressing it, still going to work. They're spreading it to people around.
I had a coworker who was deathly ill, and he's should I what's it called? My GM said you can't come unless you get a doctor's note, and a couple of days before he's I don't know if I'd be able to come in, and he said something I don't know if I should go to the doctor or not.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? That's a decision you have to make.
Yeah, deciding
do I go to work or do I go to the doctor?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm bro, go fucking go to the clinic. You need to see a doctor, man.
Yeah, it's just absurd. Like, no human being should have to choose between losing their job and like living or spreading a disease, potentially deadly disease to everyone they come in contact with. I mean, it's just absolutely absurd. I work in a supermarket and I work with food, and I am ashamed to say there have been times where I've gone to work like knowing that I am sick and contagious, and continue to work with food. And yeah, they tell
Yeah.
you when you like anyone who works in the service industry, especially, knows that like yeah, they tell you when they hire you, if you're sick, just stay home. You know, you have sick days. Like, it's not a huge deal as long as you're not missing like a huge amount of time on, like, as long as you call in, it'll be fine. But like, that is just not true. Like, if your bosses will pressure you to come in, like, you will feel humiliated, people will make fun of you,
Yeah.
and they'll dock
And
your pay
like
by not paying you on the days you're off.
you feel bad because like you're making your coworkers like do more work now because they like pay
Exactly.
for your
And
slack.
yeah, and then your coworkers are mad at you, even though, you know, of course everyone should be mad at your boss, but that's just not how it works in real life. People don't understand.
Yeah.
So they blame you, they get upset with you. And yeah, like, because of that, people choose to come into work even when they know they're sick, and it's fucked up.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like, what do you? I mean, it's like it's either you come into work sick or you're like not able to afford rent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And no one should have to choose between those two things. So,
Yeah, and
yeah.
honestly, it sucks. But like I said, anyway, Corona update. Uh, apparently, old woman living in, I believe, China, 94 years old. She survived Corona.
Oh yeah, I saw that. She made like a full
Honestly,
recovery from it at
Yeah,
94.
I mean that's always good news to see. Like that. This isn't gonna fucking wipe us out.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Although, like, to be fair, like, some people have extreme symptoms and some people don't. So, like, maybe she just got really lucky and it was just like a mild infection for her, a mild respiratory
Yeah.
infection. Which,
Dude,
when you're that old, you can
also,
get killed
I
by
mean,
anything.
I have a theory. I mean, I always have my fucking theories, dude.
Yeah, go off, kid.
And I'm thinking, like, dude, what if, like, this person actually never had Corona? It was just some random old lady, and this is just like, look, everything's actually fine, Like, look at this very old lady.
Oh,
She
you're saying that-
survived it. It's fine.
Oh, you're saying it's just a like fabricated case?
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
actually be so crazy. I mean, that would be smart too, because it would make people think, oh, like, if she survived it, it's probably not that big a deal,
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
Bro,
that.
I've heard, like, they've hiding their, like, death numbers and, like, how many people are actually infected. In,
I mean,
China.
yeah, every country is doing that. The U.S. is doing that right now. I mean, like,
What's the point, though? Like, why
because
would you hide
they don't
this
want
number?
people to panic, but like, the point is that if people don't have information, how are they even supposed to react? Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
don't know who has
I
it.
heard the coronavirus. I remember when we first heard about this, we actually called the Wuhan virus, which was because that's where it originated. I heard that apparently in Wuhan, like, the corona was a virus they kept, and it like somehow escaped. I don't know how true this is. So I don't even know if this is real.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think it's there because I haven't heard it. I just heard it for some like random person, so I don't know how true that was.
No, I don't think it's
Like,
true.
I
because,
highly doubt like a fucking virus from like a lab escaped
no,
or
no,
like
it's
someone
insane.
spread it on purpose. Yeah, it just sounds kind
It
of
spreads
ridiculous.
from animals because like, coronavirus is a virus that we know of. It's just a different mutate. Like, this new one is just like a different mutation, just like bird flu or like swine flu or whatever.
Ebola.
But we've known of it before, and that's why they think they're going to be able to make like what is it called, a vaccine, like, soon, because ideally be able to make one relatively quickly for a disease you already know about. But apparently, like, I recently read that the CDC created this vaccine using like data that was incorrect or something, and they basically had to scrap it and like start over from the beginning. So yeah, that's cool. And then also, I want to say that even if a vaccine does come out, the chances that it's going to be affordable for an average person, practically zero. Like, and someone asked one of the healthcare reps, like CDC reps, I think, during a meeting with the Trump administration, like, basically straight up asked, like, can you guarantee that this is going to be an affordable vaccine that people can, afford to get to protect themselves? And they refused to answer. So, I mean, whatever you think that means.
I mean, the fucking healthcare industry is always fucking looking to make a quick buck.
Yeah, exactly. And the U.S. government will just let them fuck us for free and,
Yeah.
kill us.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like fucked to say, but I worry about my parents because they're in Egypt right now. Like I wouldn't want them to catch anything. I don't know if that's fucked to say because like that's I don't know me implying that like Egypt is even affected. Yeah.
I'm not sure about Egypt in particular, but like traveling in airports is like one of the
Yeah, like
best ways to get sick. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I worry about the most really.
Well, I'm sure that'll
And
be
then
fine.
I get corona, and then
Yeah.
I get corona, and then I die.
You better not fucking die. I have to do this podcast by myself.
Damn, that would be a fucking lonely podcast.
Yeah. What if I did the podcast by myself and I had like triple the listeners, dude?
I mean, bro. I should have died sooner then.
The fuck?
It would have been like it would be like a fucking Game Grumps type shit when John Charter was still on the show.
Yeah, it's like when John
They
Trump
just
said
fucking
the
replaced
N-word
him.
and then he got kicked off Game Grumps. Oh,
Yeah. It's like, well, I fucking need a new fucking co-host. Applications? Would
No, I would
set
never
up,
do
co-host applications?
Hell no, I would do
Would you even
solo pod,
would you
and I
actually
would
keep
get
the
a new
podcast
guest every
going?
day. Yeah, I would do it in your memory though. It'd be like in memoriam.
And at the end of
Dave.
every episode, in memory of David.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I would use like all the clips I have on my computer to like create a soundboard of you and just like keep you alive through the podcast.
Fucking the podcast blows up, but I had to die for it. A life for a life. God, okay. But okay, no, okay, so that's the Corona weekly update. I don't know if we're actually gonna do this every week, but I thought it was a cool
At
idea.
least until it gets fixed. Or we
Yeah.
die. One of the two.
Or yeah. One of us, one of us is gonna get Corona, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say statistically one of us.
That's the stats, bro.
Hopefully it's you.
Yeah, what the fuck? Anyway,
Maybe
fucking
we'll both get it.
Super Tuesday, dude. We could both get it. Super Tuesday, dude. When Amy dropped out, and I was like, yes, dude, Amy's gone, dude. And then Pete dropped, and then they both endorsed Biden. I was like, no.
So the
The
night
moderates,
before, dude.
they're
The
consolidating.
The night
It's like-
before
It's like
the fucking vote.
you know that shit like fucking when a shit ton of like rats like come together and they form like one blob.
Yeah, Rat
And
King.
that's Biden.
Dude. It's a Rat King.
Fuck.
It's so true.
The
and
Rat
like,
King.
God, man. And,
Just a
you
grilling
know,
dad Biden.
True. Although, okay, I want to say right off the bat, like, people are really being fucking doomers, like, online and saying basically, like, we're done for, Bernie's never gonna win, whatever. Like,
I mean, they're
first
just
of all-
having 2016 PTSD.
Exactly.
And I'm there with them, dude.
Yeah. So, like,
But
yeah,
like, you gotta
true.
stay strong.
He fell a little bit short of what we thought would happen because of the huge boost that Joe got from these two centrist fucks dropping out. And like, yeah, that sucked. I said it before, I don't know, maybe on Twitter, maybe on the pod, I don't know. I said that I was
Yeah.
worried because of those people dropping out. Like, it's dangerous, it sucks.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter
Fucking
is
predicted
like,
on this podcast.
yeah, he can still win, and it's not going to be easy. But the most likely outcome now is for him to win a plurality when he goes to the DNC, the convention.
God.
Because, like, at that point, if they screw him over, we have a virtuous reason to basically overthrow the government at that point.
Yeah,
And,
one
like,
thing.
yeah.
One thing that I worried about was I wonder if Warren can now use this leverage over Bernie. It's like, Bernie, like I'll drop, but like you gotta fucking promise me something. You know, you gotta like, fucking get me on that ticket.
I mean, there's no doubt that they're having conversations behind closed doors right now.
Yeah, like, cause Warren needs to drop. It would be so good for Bernie right now. Like, even like
Yeah.
Warren dropping like months ago was like good, but like Warren dropping right now is like oh my god, if she dropped right now, it would be like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's practically required. Like, she needs to drop out or Bernie is in big trouble.
Like Warren
Because, like,
fucked like Bernie in so many Super Tuesday states by like
Yes.
stealing those votes.
Yeah, and okay, first of all, I want to address too. Some people are like, well, if Warren drops, a lot of those voters aren't necessarily going to go to Sanders. And okay, yeah, that's true. Some voters won't go to Sanders, but polling has consistently shown that Warren voters all think that Sanders would be their second choice. And I mean, like, I have no reason to like disbelieve those polls, and it's true that some unknown percentage of those people would go to Biden, but more than likely, of course, most of them are going to go to Sanders because they're the most ideologically similar. And some of her. I am.
Yeah.
I do. Excuse me. Hold on. I am aware of the argument that a lot of her supporters are, upper middle class, like management class people that, are like wine moms. They're not really that progressive. And while that may be true, I think that a lot of those people still believe in themselves as progressives, and they would choose Bernie over Biden in this case. So I think that, yeah, it's required. She needs to drop out.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't win a single state, including her home state, she came in
God, that
third
was so
in her home
surprising that
state.
Biden won her home state.
Yes.
I was shocked. I was like, no way. Like, Bernie's going to take Mass. Like, that's easy. That's
Yeah.
easy. I was going over, like, okay, Bernie probably going to win this state. He's probably going to win this state. It's looking pretty good. And then Bernie wins 4 states. I was so devastated. I mean, I think,
that was
I don't know if it's
big
because,
loss.
yeah, I mean, because I was like looking at the 2016. I'm like, okay, Bernie won this state like last, in 2016. He should win it again, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you look at it just totally like that objectively and see the fact that he won it in 2016, the truth of the matter is that, yeah, Warren lost that state for him. He would have won that state if it were not for Warren being in the race. And she didn't even win. She just came in third. It's absurd. She just bleeds.
I mean, she came
all
in
the
third
support
because
on
she's
him.
the only one fucking left.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, she lost to Bloomberg in Texas.
Bloomberg
It's just
taking
absurd.
American Samoa.
Oh, and yeah,
Wild.
let's talk about Texas too. Did you hear about the story that they shut down hundreds of polling locations in Texas, and there were people that were voting up until like 1:30 in the morning. People literally
What
came
the
in
fuck?
when polls closed at 8 and stood in line until 1:30 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, and honestly, that's super fucking like. I don't know what reason you would have to close a polling station. Like, what are the like why?
There should
Yeah.
be no fucking reason. There is no reason. I mean, it's just a classic voter suppression, like,
I mean,
strategy.
yeah, I mean that's the only way. I'm like, that would be your only reasoning. Like, you don't want people to vote.
Exactly. And, like, I was saying this earlier to someone, like, there should be, whenever you want to close a polling location, you should have to automatically defend it in court. Like, if you do it, be like, okay, here's the reasons why we want to do it. Like, this is the reason why it's not going to affect people's abilities to vote or whatever. And then a judge should have to be like, yeah, I agree, that's fine. Like, even if it's just one person in that district, and like you're trying to say like, yeah, we could probably just make this guy drive like 5 more minutes and it would be fine. It's only gonna affect him, and
And then Bernie
it would save
loses
us
by
this much
one
money or
vote.
whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, fair enough, but still, you know what I mean. Like, they should have to
Yeah.
show a fucking reason why they're closing them, because they're every single time, every election cycle, I feel like we read this fucking news story about how they close down dozens or hundreds of polling locations in black and brown communities the day or the week before the fucking vote happens. And then, of course, ironically, the progressive candidate loses by just a tiny margin, and you're wondering what would have happened if they hadn't closed those polling fucking locations down, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I heard there was like, I feel like there was so much shit that like popped off on Super Tuesday. Like, there was that tornado in Tennessee, and like I heard there was blackouts in California. Like, all of these like have probably had effects like on like the votes and shit. Like,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
availability.
I mean, for example, with the Tennessee thing, like, a tornado ripped through Tennessee and destroyed the city of Nashville, and like dozens of people were dead, buildings were destroyed. So
At
like,
night.
yeah, just imagine how many progressive Nashville votes were lost because of the fact
People
that
don't
a
want to
fucking
leave their
tornado
home,
ripped through
you
it.
know, like even
Yeah,
if like
exactly.
they're not even affected, like people probably don't feel safe going outside.
Yeah,
And
or there's
that
just
affects
debris in the fucking streets. Like, they
Yeah.
can't. There's a structural reason why they can't. And like, that's why that if possible, you should try to take advantage of early voting when possible. But also, some people just can't. Like, just putting this ridiculous timeline on voting like this and making people jump through hoops and like have all this fucking documentation and sign up months in advance. Like, that, it's just undemocratic, and it's one of the reasons that this country will never have the high turnout that
If
other
you pay
countries have.
taxes, you should be able to vote.
Exactly, and there shouldn't be these hoops you have to jump through, like, just ID laws or voting or fucking shutting down polling locations, making people drive 20 minutes away to go vote. Like, it's absurd. Like,
Do you think we will ever be able to like use the internet to vote? Or
Um, not from like home, probably not. But like, I mean, in terms of like a voting machine that is using like some kind of encrypted like fucking server, some bullshit like that. Like, I mean, maybe, why not? There would have to be some like it would have to be impenetrable. Like it couldn't be connected to the internet all the time or on an
I know.
unsecure
I feel
network
like
or anything
I know,
like that.
but I feel like there's this thing where like you have like, oh, you're worried about like it getting rigged or it getting hacked into, or how safe it is actually to use, right? But then
Right.
I feel like you just have this shit anyway, like with like, the coin flips and fucking like just like the math like just being super fucking long that we saw in Iowa, like the shit's like happening anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I think that that's why in my opinion, I think the best way to do voting would be just like doing Bitcoin, like unironically, do a peer-to-peer, like blockchain kind of thing where it's all self-verifying peer-to-peer
Just have a
networks
big
of
ass land,
machines.
bro.
Exactly. Like all these machines are checking to see if there's correct shit going on, and if all the machines detect that something's wrong with one node, like they can
Oh, dude,
correct
I
it
know
and make
why
sure.
they don't though. You know why?
Why?
It's because boomers won't know how to use it.
Well, that's the thing. You can make the user interface simple. Just store the votes in this system. And not only would we get instant results, we would also know 100% that they were accurate and not tampered with. There would be no way to tamper with it because peer to peer, it's impossible. You would have to have targeted attacks in thousands of locations across dozens of states to even have any impact at all on the actual vote itself.
And
So, like,
what's fucked as well, you should be able to register online in every fucking state. Like, I can't register
yes,
online in
absolutely.
Florida. It's fucked.
That's so stupid, man. They just want to make it as hard as possible so people just give up and don't even try. And, like I'm not like in love with electoral politics or anything, but like the fact of the matter is that is all we have. Like if you are living in a country where you're supposed to be able to vote, it should be fucking easy. It's really just that simple.
Yeah. I mean, another thing is too, like for turnouts, like people don't fucking care, and I don't know why. Like, a lot of people's like defense of not being into politics, like, oh, I don't like politics, it's fucking boring, and all this shit. But like, it's so fucked that like the only reason why they probably think like that is because they can't they don't have the luxury to like deal with like I can't get into politics. I have all this other shit that's on my mind, and that's like politics. Like I don't fucking care because it's not important. I need to pay rent.
Exactly. And I think that in a lot of cases too, they have faith in the people in power to not abuse that power because we live very
Yeah.
comfortable lives, and like people think, like what is my one vote going to change?
Yeah.
But the point is like you're not the only person that thinks that. You're one of hundreds of thousands of people, especially young people. And like I wanted to talk about that too, the fact that only 13% of voters were young people. I want to push back on this narrative a little bit that young people didn't come out to vote, because the truth of the matter is if you look at every state, voting is up by sometimes up to double what it was in 2016. So the idea that people aren't voting is just not true. It's just that everyone is voting more, not just young people, but we're also talking about boomers and people who
Yeah.
are centrist Democrats, Republicans basically, are coming out to vote as well. And I loved this tweet that I saw recently that said that if Super Tuesday taught us anything, is that when young people come out to vote for a better future, old people will come out to kill them, to vote to kill them. And I just thought that was the most accurate thing ever, because like, yeah, young people are in love with this progressive movement in Bernie Sanders and somewhat in Warren,
Yeah.
although I kind of disagree with that. But old people are just as scared as young people are excited about Bernie Sanders' message and his socialism and his.
They're like,
his
fuck, I
public
gotta
policies.
go out and stop this communist.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and like that really just shows us that what people are upset about, and also of course people are just they hate Trump. That's another reason as well. And like, what do you get when you get a ton of uninformed voters that all they care about is beating Trump? Who are they going to vote for? They're going to
that's
vote for
why
the crazy
Bloomberg did
grandpa
so well.
with ideas. Exactly.
God, and Bloomberg dropping. Like, when I heard that tonight, I was like, are you fucking serious? This guy
Yeah.
spends fucking millions and millions of dollars on advertising, and then he just endorses Biden. Drops endorses.
Yeah, this is actually pretty fresh news.
On,
This is from
on
last night.
Super fucking Tuesday. God,
Yeah.
I mean, days before. I mean, a couple of days after Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Absurd. Yeah, and yeah, they like he spent $500 million, and he won one state. Well, not even a state; it was a territory. He won American Samoa, which netted him 4 delegates.
I mean, believe it or not, like Bloomberg is taking votes away from Bernie.
Yep.
Since he's able to do this mass advertising. Even the other day while I was in the car with my sister, like I heard a Bloomberg ad in Spanish. Like there was a Spanish Bloomberg ad in Florida. Like,
that's insane, dude. Oh my god.
Like it preys on people who are uninformed, people who like aren't really into politics, and like you were saying, like people fucking hate Trump, and that's what maybe a reason why more people are turning up to like and vote and shit because they want to get rid of Trump. Yeah. And they hear this Bloomberg guy, and like sometimes like they just like idolize like Bloomberg in these fucking like ads, and like, oh man, this Bloomberg guy, like he's the only politician they hear about. Like Mayor of New York, like. They don't know fucking anything about him, and they're like, well, I guess I'm going to go vote for Bloomberg.
Exactly. You're hitting the nail on the head right now, man. Because when you have these low information voters like that, like, all they know is how disgusting Trump is. That's the one thing that they do know.
Michael Bloomberg can beat him. He has money.
Exactly. And the one person that they hear the most in their ear, talking about how much money they have, how able they are to beat Trump, and the fact that they're just constantly able to project these fucking ads directly onto these boomers' brains. Like, that means that they're going to vote for them. And like Bernie has the opportunity to capture those people through canvassing and ads of his own as well. But it's just difficult to compete with someone like Bloomberg,
who just has infinite money playing fucking Earth on fucking creative mode, dude.
Exactly, man. And like that's true. And Dave is absolutely right. Even though it seems impossible, Bloomberg is peeling votes off of Bernie, and will probably continue to do so for a while until the effect of his dropout is actually finalized. But all hope is not lost. I want to like go away from this doomer talk a little bit. Let's talk about delegates, okay?
Yeah.
Right now, as we speak, California is not finished reporting their final count. But as it is now, with the delegates that are awarded as we speak now, Bernie Sanders is behind by about 50 delegates. So, and that is a little bit of a gap, and we were hoping to be in first place after this. However, it is not as big a gap as the media is going to make it seem, because I guarantee you, when like right now while we're talking, I guarantee you on MSNBC, on CNN, I guarantee you they're running segments right now talking about how much of a failure Super Tuesday was for Bernie, completely ignoring the fact that he almost tied Joe in Texas, and he had a blowout in California, which had the most delegates. And I recently heard that if Bernie were to have the margin that he has now all the way through the rest of California's votes, and they count them all, he will actually come out ahead on Super Tuesday and have a delegate lead against Joe Biden, even taking into account the fact that Joe took South Carolina before Super Tuesday even started. So all of these people saying that Bernie can't win, fuck them. They're wrong. We are still in this fucking race. Even if it ended right now and it was a 50 delegate gap, you would still never give up on this shit, because he's almost there. And like, I'll admit, the chance that he wins the convention overall and gets a majority of the vote, it's a pretty fucking slim chance, especially now, considering he lost a couple states that he really should have won, like Texas and Massachusetts. The fact that he lost those means, he might not win a majority. That means that we just have to work in fucking overtime to make sure that Bernie gets the plurality of the votes before the convention comes around. Because then the DNC will have no choice but to put him as the nominee or to demolish their own party. And we have to make them make that choice, because if we let Biden cruise into the nominee, this country's not going to change for at least 8 years. And
it's crazy.
And I don't want to live another 8 years like this.
We're going to have Trump for another 4 years if Biden does get the nomination, because Biden won't win against Trump.
Absolutely.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm most scared about like the, Super Tuesday though, is the media. Because now the media, like, they've been waiting to fucking just like, how, Pete declaring early victory in Iowa. I mean, he did win in Iowa eventually, but like, it was the most
They tied. He didn't win.
I mean, they tied originally, but then they did the recount and then he won, right?
No, they tied, and then he won one extra delegate from a coin toss.
Oh yeah.
So they ended with the same number of delegates in Iowa. That's why
did
that was
he win
bullshit,
like 3
man. And they're gonna do the
coin
same
toss?
thing. He won 2 delegates in 2 different areas by coin toss.
That's so fucking dumb.
So,
but anyway, like the absurd. Media, like they were like waiting.
They're gonna do the same thing.
They're
That's
waiting.
The point, right?
Yeah, they're waiting to like. They have something they can like fucking run with and just like keep on going, like, oh, Biden's the front runner, Biden's gonna get the nominee. Like they're just gonna keep on saying this shit, like they're gonna fucking try to hide Bernie in the media, and we just like
yep, and they're gonna make it seem like you have no choice.
Yeah,
like it's already a done deal.
Yeah,
he already won. Like
yeah.
Look at Super Tuesday, he won.
I mean, that's
just totally gonna.
But
ignore.
honestly, it's I can say that it's probably gonna be better on March 10th. Right, that's the next one, right?
Yeah, 5 days from today.
And like,
4
cause
days,
there was so many southern states. There was so many southern states that like, I have a good feeling that Bernie's probably gonna win these next states.
Yeah.
He's gonna win out, get plurality. Hopefully, I mean that's if Warren drops, even better.
Yeah, and kind of breaking news on that subject tonight. Before we recorded this podcast, Warren's campaign released a statement saying that they were going to be looking at what their options are for the rest of the race. And I mean, we pretty much know, I think everyone knows that's code for, yeah, we're going to drop out, but we just don't know who we're going to endorse yet. And I just want to say, if Warren drops out and endorses Biden, like I don't even know what to say in that scenario, because it seems more and more likely every single fucking passing hour. Because Warren, in 2016, of course, she refused to endorse Sanders. She endorsed Hillary Clinton during the primary when they were still battling to win the nominee. She elected to endorse Hillary Clinton, even though Bernie was there. So let's ask ourselves, what would you do if you were a snake, narcissist, fucking sociopath like Elizabeth Warren? Would you endorse someone who you ideologically align with? Or would you endorse the old man with fucking brain disease?
You're fucking reading
dementia?
my mind right now, dude. Fucking like, God, like I've been going off on fucking. Basically, I've been going off on fucking Elizabeth Warren ever since fucking the debate where she was fucking making these claims and not even like denying these fucking absolutely false claims and just going with it. She'll do anything she can to move forward in her career. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she endorsed Biden. And like Biden's like, give you a little treat,
give you a cabinet position or something.
And like
that.
you can look back to the POC shit where she tried to claim she was Native American, and like all this other shit. I forgot.
No, you're absolutely right. And like,
but she's lied before. I mean,
and like,
it's crazy.
No, yeah, she has a long history of lying. She was a fucking Republican, like in the 90s, as early as the fucking 90s, and like, I just don't see what reason I have to believe that she will make the correct choice, but I'm hoping that she fucking does. If she has any shred of humanity and humility, she will drop out and endorse Bernie Sanders. And when that happens, I honestly don't know what percentage of her voters will get excited and come out to vote for him. Man, I've been going off on Twitter today. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get banned pretty soon because there's just Warren voters saying... Yeah, like this is my favorite take that I saw earlier today. Basically, someone said, Bernie bros don't understand that if you're, say mean things to us, we're not going to come vote for your candidate. We're going to, vote for someone else because it's all about ideas, not about, attacking each other. And like that's just my favorite take, because what you're basically saying is like, yeah, I really would like free healthcare and free college, but someone was mean to me on the internet, so now I'm gonna vote for Hitler. It's like, what?
Fuck, yeah.
It's absurd. Like, it's the absolute dumbest fucking take that you can have. Like, if people messaging you on Twitter changes your fundamental view of reality in that way, you have a fucking illness and you need to stop. You need to be removed from the internet for like just a couple days, maybe that'll help you, recover from this disease that you've gotten. I don't know, but like, it's just that kind of thing is not human. That you cannot really like act like that and be a normal human being. I just don't understand that. So yeah, that's my favorite take in the most recent days. However, I do want to say, if on an off chance any Warren fans are listening to this, I want you to understand, my issue is not with you as a person, okay?
I have
an issue with your candidate.
Support fucking Warren still, like at this point.
Exactly.
Like, literally openly saying that she knows she's not going to win, Super Tuesday. She knows she's probably not going to get the nomination at this point. And she's like, we're going to take as many delegates as we can. We're going to stay until the end. Like, why? Like, you're
it's
only
delusional.
fucking the other progressive candidate. And if you are even who you say you are, you will drop right now.
Exactly.
And support
Bernie. And I understand, like, as a human being, I can empathize with Elizabeth Warren. I understand what it's like to feel like you're the best person for a job and to feel like no one else sees that. I understand that. But that's part of being a fucking human being, is understanding when to step aside and let other people take your place and do a better job. And that's what Elizabeth Warren needs to do right now. If she understands anything about anything, she will drop out within the next 24 hours.
Hopefully.
So we will definitely update you on that situation. If she is not out by March 10th, I am going to be fucking furious. I'm going to be malding, and I'm definitely getting banned from Twitter.
Would you restore your faith in Elizabeth Warren again if she dropped and endorsed Bernie?
If she drops and endorse Bernie, I will not bully Warren supporters on Twitter again.
I will stop
until she runs for president a second time. I promise.
I promise I will stop bullying people on Twitter.
Yes, I will. That is my promise on behalf of Bernie. Actually, on Rachel Maddow tonight, Bernie did an interview, and he said that, I disavow any of my supporters that are saying these vile attacks on Liz Warren's campaign. And I'm just like, I mean, first of all, Daddy, I love you, man. But like, I'm not gonna stop bullying these fucking snakes until she drops out. Until the moment she drops out, man.
I have to. Fuck. I mean,
man, and I saw a fucking another on top of that, Liz Warren people that are just totally delusional, basically saying, I'm voting for her in my state anyway. Like, if you do that, you are throwing your vote away. A vote for Elizabeth Warren at this point is a vote for Joe Biden. Or Trump, yeah. If you want to look at it that way, it's a vote for Trump.
If you vote for Elizabeth Warren, it's a vote for Biden, and if you fucking vote for Biden, it's a vote for Trump, because fucking you're allowing Trump to fucking take the presidency in 2020.
Absolutely. And I cannot wait, fucking doomsday scenario in fucking November of this year. I cannot wait to be blamed for fucking Trump's second term by these fucking lib-centrist cucks that are literally sitting here saying all these Bernie bros that chose to stay home are the reason that Trump is in office. God. I cannot wait for that to happen.
It's like they can't even make that statement when like fucking Bernie is like the most attractive candidate. Like, his support is fucking loud, and they're fucking strong, and they're fucking everywhere, and they're constantly fucking donating to Bernie. And like, it's the fucking workers, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, they can't say that. The DNC cannot make that statement while they're running a person like Biden, knowing that less than 4 years ago, they ran Biden 1.0 in Hillary Clinton, and she got fucking demolished. That's the point. They have done this before, and it has failed before, and they are continuing to do it anyway, knowing that they have a candidate like Bernie on the potential ballot. That is a subversion of what is right and good for the Democrats of this country. I mean, if you don't see that, then yeah, I now understand why you're voting for Warren. But I would like to invite you to come across to our side, and we will welcome you with open arms, and we will not bully you at all. Ever again.
Fucking left in the South bussies for every fucking Warren supporter who fucking supports Bernie instead. Fuck.
Absolutely, because if you're with us, you're with the working class, and you are our comrades. But if you stick with Warren, you're our enemy. I hate to say it, but you are our fucking enemy, and we're not gonna stop.
I mean, it's the saddest. I mean, what's the most sad thing about it is, like, because if we allow Biden to get the nomination, that means the corporations won. And not only that, like, Bloomberg showed that you can buy yourself fucking like basically a candidate in, like, I mean, because he's basically just fucking, like, he's like a vacuum, a void sucking in potential fucking votes, and he's like, slurp, 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 let me fucking grab all these fucking people up because I just have the wealth to do it.
And maybe he didn't win, but the point is like, he came in, that Super Tuesday was the first day that anyone voted for him at all. That was the very first day that he was on any ballot in the country, and he still managed to soak up hundreds of thousands of votes and win like 5 delegates.
Yeah.
I think actually even more than that. Just the fact that he was able to do that at all, regardless of the amount of money he spent, is just absolutely
and just like all this shit too with the NDAs on the women he's fucking sexually harassed, and like all this shit, and then he still does well in the polls because either like the media doesn't care, like they don't want to do coverage on that. And he just just buys support. He can just fucking buy his support, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And Absolutely. They changed the rules for him as well, dude. And they allowed it. They literally just let it happen. The
They like it.
DNC could have fucking turned away fucking Bloomberg. They said, no, you can't fucking attend this debate. Like, all the other candidates, it was a pretty easy, he was a pretty easy punching bag for all the other candidates to shit on. But like somehow he still was polling, in RCP polls, he was polling third above like even Warren somehow. Absolutely.
That does not surprise me.
Absolutely stunning, dude.
So what do you think Bernie's strategy should be going forward from this? Let's assume that the California
he needs to make a deal with
Warren
Warren so she can drop, first of all.
He's tied. What kind of deal would you say? Because like would you advise him to use her as a vice president?
I mean, I would offer like a spot in the cabinet or fucking VP. I mean, whatever it takes for her to drop and endorse him. I mean, that's like probably the most, like, he needs this right now, I think.
Yeah,
it's so vital.
I don't know if I agree with the vice. I don't know if I agree with the vice president spot because I don't know. I just don't agree with her ideologically. I wouldn't like that. I would still vote for Bernie in that case, but he has said in the past that he wanted to have a person of color as his VP, and I know you jokingly said, well, Liz Warren's a Native American, so it's fine, but, of course, he's probably talking about someone else. Yeah. So I don't think that he would do that, but the thing is like, I don't know if Warren is willing to drop without something like that, something like a VP spot, which is sad and terrible and fucking a snake move.
It's like, all right.
Yeah,
VP, I guess, but she can make the same deal with Biden. Is the scary part.
Absolutely.
But honestly,
absolutely, and I feel like that would be smarter for her too. Which is
I've been thinking like, dude, what if Biden chose Pete for his VP, bro?
Why wouldn't he?
Like that would be so attractive for him,
Yeah, such a young guy, and and gay, and I know that's a big thing for Joe because he voted against the gay marriage
that's
act.
Also fucked, dude. Pete like being homosexual and then endorsing Biden when Biden literally doesn't want fucking gay people to get married.
Yeah, exactly. Just the fact that the media has not made him answer for that, or the crime bill in '96, or the busing bill in the early '90s, or any of these racist or that even. Yeah, absolutely. The fact that the media has not made him answer for that is just a crime against humanity.
Yeah, and like you just see it all
further
over
evidence
Twitter,
that they need
like,
to be dismantled.
Of all this shit. Like I hate like not knowing if I'm in a Bernie bubble, and like I just like I know I am. I'm probably in a Bernie bubble. But like it'd fucking be nice to see like that Bernie actually is super fucking popular over the internet.
He is really popular, man. Like, that's the thing, is that the average people like him. It's just that average people don't vote. That's the saddest truth about this world that we live in. Average people don't vote. People like us don't vote.
I hope that, like, in our later years, more millennials are able to vote, like younger people. I feel like the younger people are more liberal. I don't know. Is that even true? Do you think so?
I mean, no, yeah, definitely. Empirically, they are more liberal, yes. But, like, the fact of the matter is, the wealthier you are, the less likely you are to vote for leftist policies. And that's why putting these tiny roadblocks up that privileged people don't see as roadblocks, such as having an ID to vote, or such as, having to drive 20 minutes to go to your polling location, or even wait for more than 30 minutes to an hour to vote, or even up to 6 hours like they had in Texas. Like, these small things that, liberals, middle-class liberals are like, what's the big deal? Like, I did it. It's fine. They don't understand the privilege that they have. And, like, that's why voting rates are abysmal in this country, and that's why left-wing policies will never succeed electorally, is because traditionally the people who lose their ability to vote the most are left-wing people. So, I mean, it's just a fact of life that they're not going to be able to stand out and outside for 6 hours to vote because they can't get away from work. Or they're not going to be able to afford a car to drive to the poll when the fucking racist government closes the poll in their neighborhood.
Yeah, I actually think that if we had Bernie Sanders as a president, we would see a lot more, like we would finally start leaning to the left in terms of candidates, and we'll actually see better candidates. And I think we would see more people even start to vote, like once, like, stuff like, marijuana being legalized, having education, healthcare. And I think we would see a rise in voters because they no longer have to worry about, like, fuck, am I going to be able to afford rent this month with, $15, like, minimum wage and stuff like that.
Absolutely, exactly. No, David, you are 100% right. And that is why it's so important. And this is, I hate to, like, talk about this because it instantly libs' brains fucking melt when I say things like this. But, like, this is what Marx predicted. If you have a country of people you have basically two choices. Like, you can raise people's living standards to the point where they're able to escape the control of the capitalist class. And the way to do that, one way to do that would be like, offering a jobs guarantee, offering a universal basic income or $15 an hour minimum wage, something like that. Because what it does is it takes the boot off the fucking neck of the working class. It doesn't actually, it's not a revolution, but it allows you to conduct a revolution without starving to death, because you can't afford to live in the country while you're planning and organizing. And the fact of the matter is like, we need things like universal healthcare. We need things like a jobs guarantee. We need things like a universal basic income, maybe someday. We need that in order to remove that boot from our neck. And that's why voting for even liberals like Bernie Sanders, like, that actually does move us towards our end goal. Even though he's not like a communist, his policies change the material conditions that we conduct our revolution in, and that's why it's important that he wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, you're hitting the nail on the head there, friend. What's your like final thoughts on Super Tuesday overall? How do you think Bernie did? What do you think, like, what should we do, and what do you think like his chances are coming out of this?
I mean, obviously, I still think his chances are going to be pretty well coming out of this. It's not over. He's only 60 down. And even then, California's, as you said, they haven't fully reported in. Not all the delegates have been received, right? I thought Texas was a state he could have won. Unfortunately, he didn't take Texas. I really thought he could have took Massachusetts. Unfortunately, he didn't take. I was just thinking like maybe he could even take a southern state, but looks like that didn't happen. It doesn't seem well, but I think he actually did pick up enough delegates to like stay in this. So, looking forward for next week. I think do you think that's gonna be like end game next week? Like after next week, you can really tell.
No, it's not end game. I think that this game ends at the convention at this point. Like, no one wins until it's over at this point.
God, because
Warren, of how close it is.
Fucking Warren has a lot of fucking power right now. She's in a really fucking good position to fucking fuck progressives or fucking advance the fuck our career. I mean, it's a win-win for her. She, fucking endorses Bernie. Bernie is probably gonna win, right? Endorse Biden, get like a fucking easy. Fucking easy cabinet,
easy finance ministry, or something. Like some cabinet position like that, some bullshit do nothing job, and then she gets to retire as a member of the president's cabinet. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but that would be a smart move for her. And yeah, we just have to hope that she has the spine and the wherewithal to do.
Tulsi Gabbard fucking hugging the zone that's closing in. Trying to fucking stream snipe the fucking the last 1v1 fight in this BR.
She's camping the storm right now. And she's trying to move in. It's so funny that she won a delegate. Do you think that they're gonna let her on the debate stage?
They should,
man?
Dude. They should.
They should. Actually, they should. Tulsi's foreign policy in some places is actually better than Bernie's. No joke. So I would be interested to see her on the debate stage. In her 30s. Yeah, I don't hate Tulsi. I definitely don't like her, but there's some things about her I like. But it is a joke at this point. I don't know why the fuck. Who voted for her? That's what I want to know. Which fucking person voted for her?
Simp.
Yeah,
simp delegate. Fuck.
But anyway.
All right, bro.
My final thoughts on it are don't give up. I agree with David.
Don't give up.
Yeah, keep making calls, keep donating, keep canvassing, keep knocking on doors. Unfortunately, my state has already voted, so. I'll probably just be making calls, or if you're shy and nervous and don't want to do that, you can always text.
Yes.
That's fine. I've done both, and they're both easy. They give you a script. They tell you exactly what to do. You can do it for as long or as little as you want.
Yes.
And it's literally no strings attached, and you can be the change in this country that you want to see by doing that. So I definitely recommend that, and don't give up. And vote for Bernie if you haven't yet.
Yes. We're gonna do it. We're gonna win. Like Danny DeVito said, Bernie's fucking got this, dude. And if you are a fucking canvasser and or work on a Bernie staff, we want you on our podcast. So fucking DM us on Twitter, get in our fucking emails. We want to talk to you guys.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, DM David because I won't see it.
Yeah. Left in the South podcast at gmail.com or at the Litz podcast if you are trying to get in contact with us. But
absolutely.
With Super Tuesday out of the way, it's our end of the podcast, weekly tradition. Obviously we're going to talk about philosophy. All right.
Hell yeah, man.
Don't really have a question for you this week, but I just wanted to talk about free will and or fate. I mean, what do you think? Do you think you have free will? Do you think that everything that you do is predetermined?
I think that we have free will to the extent that we can make decisions in our everyday life, but on a cosmic scale, I don't think that there is such a thing as free will. No.
I mean, yeah, because if you say that you don't have free will and that your actions in life are predetermined, would that absolve your actions like for doing a bad thing?
To a certain extent, yeah, and I think that even Marxism does this because Marxism is all about like the material conditions of the world, and like when you're looking at material conditions, you have to ask yourself like, okay, this person did this thing, but when they're making this decision, what are the conditions that they're making it in?
Like
and
stealing,
for example, like when someone kills someone,
stealing food,
exactly, or
right.
Stealing or killing or something. Like what if someone kills someone and they're mentally
Yeah.
ill or something, and they're not able to make decisions like outside of that frame of reference. Like we would often say, well, this person is guilty of this crime, but they're not necessarily a criminal, like they have an illness, like they needed help and they didn't get it. And I kind of look at free will the same way, where it's like, it's not true that doing something bad in a bad situation absolves you of your morality or in any way, but like it definitely makes me look at it in a different light.
Yeah.
Like I would never blame someone for killing someone in a self-defense scenario, but that doesn't mean that killing people is okay all the time. You have to look at the conditions.
Yeah. And it's the same thing for justifying like stealing. Like someone stole bread so they could feed their family, or they stole bread because they're starving, they need to eat, and they don't have money, right? You'd say that's acceptable.
Right.
But it's
yeah, and like, would you say that person had free will when they're making the decision to eat the bread, to steal the bread? I would say not really, because if they don't steal it, they're gonna die. So like at that point, it's free will. Yeah, they're making the choice, but the choice in some ways has already been made for them. So is it really free will?
Yeah. I mean, like, apparently, everything is technically predetermined. Like, if we knew, like, fucking, like, all the, like, fucking atoms in the world and, like, where we were gonna fucking go, like, couldn't we, like, technically just, like, predict the future?
Yeah, like, if all information was, like, a quivering string on a spider's web, like, you could attenuate to those strings and technically predict exactly what's gonna happen, right?
It's kind of fucking interesting to think, it's like, we're not making this podcast because we had the free will to make this podcast. This podcast was just always gonna happen.
Yeah, true. And eventually,
whenever
when the universe...
I think about the universe, it collapses on each other, on itself, and the Big Bang happens again. The podcast will be alive again. Dude, and
this
what I think is the most crazy is like, exactly. Dude, you are finishing my sentences right now, and I need you to stop, right?
Oh my God.
Like, it's crazy to think that like
we've been here before.
We fucking had these conversations multiple times, and it's just like they might be slightly different.
Maybe, who knows? Depending on the starting conditions.
Podcast name could have been different. Fuck.
Yeah, left in the north. Wait, maybe in another life. We were from the north.
Fuck. Fucking right in the north.
Yeah. We're ANCAPs. We actually love Hitler.
Jesus Christ. An alternate reality.
Hell yeah, man.
Do you so I don't know. I think I have free will, to be honest. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Like I like to think so, because if I didn't, that would kind of suck, right?
Not really. I mean, what would be the difference? Like, you feel like you have free will, right?
Yeah.
So even if you don't, why does it matter?
I don't know. I guess it would suck even more if you kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm always predetermined to die at the age of 25, like fucking via stroke. I'm like, well, would my life even matter? Like fucking in between that time, dude. I'm gonna die. It's like, fuck.
I mean, isn't
maybe
that already true?
That's why you should just. I mean, I guess yeah. You should just live your life to the fullest, then, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the most
live
important
on
part.
the fucking edge.
Oh well. What if you could see the future? You remember that episode of Rick and Morty where they have the crystal and they can see like all their possible deaths or whatever, and like whenever they're about to die, it like coalesces into one because it's the most likely thing. What if you had a device like that? Like, would you use it or no?
I mean, like, you're just looking at every possibility of your death. I mean, like, wait, how's it fucking work? Is it
Well, like it's the most likely one, right? So like you could die from like a number of things, but like if you're a healthy guy and like you're gonna die of old age, the crystal would show you like you dying in your bed or something, right? So like, would you use it? Because then it would show you when you were gonna die.
Do I want to know how I would most likely die?
Yeah.
I mean, but then wouldn't it just instantly change if I knew?
Perhaps.
I mean, that's why it's always changing.
Depends
right?
on how.
Like,
depends on which one it would be. Like if you saw yourself die in a car accident and you're like, okay, well now I'm not going to drive a car ever again. It's like, yeah, it would change, but then you wouldn't know what it was after that.
Fuck. God. Would you use it?
Hell no, I wouldn't use it. No fucking way. No way. I would not.
I'd probably be tempted. I'd probably be so tempted.
I would too, though. I probably would end up using it eventually and then regret it and probably kill myself.
I'd be like high as fuck, and I'm like, let me just look at this dude.
Let me just peep this crystal real quick, see how I'm gonna die. And then it's like you 5 seconds from now, and you're like,
God.
Fuck.
It's like fucking someone like walks up behind me and fucking puts a bullet on my brain. Fuck, and like in one of them, oh god.
Jeez,
that's one of my worst fears. Like someone just walks into my room and fucking just kills me.
Why would they do that? Who would do that?
I mean,
a disgruntled Left in the South podcast fan.
Yeah, dude. I'm an important person, bro. I'm probably on
what if like some
countries.
secret underground society like had been fucking like keeping tabs on you and like literally just like walked in your room and like killed you and just like talked to me and they pretended to be you, dude. Like, what if you're not you right now and you're actually one of these people? You know what I mean?
You might be onto something. I mean, if I was replaced, I mean, I wouldn't know.
I feel like I would be able to tell. Like, I know you well enough. I would definitely be able to tell if you were replaced.
No, but what if it was just like me, but like a clone of me, brainwashed?
Oh, but like, it's a clone of you, but they programmed you with like their like fucking.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I probably wouldn't even know.
I mean, and what if I didn't even know I was a clone? You know?
Oh my god. What if like for you? What if you were born like last week, and like you have all these false?
I mean,
memories?
I wouldn't know. I
exactly.
mean, me and you both could have been born 1 second ago.
Yeah.
And put false memories into our brain.
I'm gonna start hyperventilating, dude. Oh my god.
This podcast was created 1 second ago, and all your past memories aren't even real. Listen to me. If you can hear me right now, wake up.
Oh my god, dude. What if like here's another thing, dude.
I just try to freak someone the fuck out.
What if like What if I didn't exist? Like you've never met me in real life, right? Like you've never seen me.
I mean, you could be AI.
Yeah, like you've seen pictures of me, and I've sent you pictures of myself. But like, what if that's not actually me? What if that's just like someone off Google, and I'm actually not a real person, and I'm an AI?
I mean, you'd be a real person to me.
I guess that's all that matters, right? From your point of view.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Left in the South podcast AI. Double AI host. What if we're both AIs? Double
AI.
Think...
Yeah,
oh my
dude.
god.
I mean, honestly, some of the stupid shit that I say might as well be fucking AI created fucking garbage mess.
Yeah, you're training the fucking machine learning algorithm. David is the like 300th generation. Yeah. I'm like the 301st generation.
Fuck.
Can't wait to get to that 600th generation.
Yeah. But other than that, dude, free will. Do we have it? Is everything predetermined? Is everything a destiny? Were you destined to listen to the end of this very podcast? And if you're here, thank you for making it to the end of Left in the South podcast. You know, I feel like I don't say it enough. Like, if you actually make it to the end, like, I appreciate you for staying here that long and having to, to listen to us rant constantly about politics and philosophy. But, now that you're here and that you're still here, hopefully, why aren't you a Patreon sub yet?
Exactly.
Can we get real on that?
I feel like if you're making it this far, you have a lot to gain by being a Patreon sub.
Exactly.
Free content.
We got some exclusive content.
We
have a lost episode, so
that's true. That'll be coming out
somewhere
soon.
out there.
Yep.
Yeah, and then with that, I would like to thank our current patrons, Grunt980, Tim, Zach, whichever you prefer, probably your real name, Zach. Thank you for being pledged to our Patreon, and good luck in that exclusive giveaway because you're most likely, 50% gonna win. Right?
Hell yeah. can't wait to just give an Amazon gift code to like one of my close friends.
Yeah, here's $10, bro.
Hell yeah.
Stay sub to the Patreon for 10 months. But with that, thank you for listening to Left in the South podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.